Hi, my name is Sajan, and today I'm going to be talking about the Heyward Gibbes Hill Scholarship Portfolio. The objective of this presentation is to rebalance the portfolio to achieve the optimal risk-return trade-off, meaning that for whatever return um, the portfolio currently provides, um, we could possibly lower its risk, um, holding the return constant, or increase return holding the risk constant. So we just wanted to see if we can reweight the portfolio to achieve a better risk return trade-off for our portfolio. The original portfolio, as I gathered data from January of 2003 to January 2015, according to its original weight, the portfolio in general averaged an annual return of 11.01% with a risk measured by standard deviation of 0.1186. So I looked at what I could do to rebalance it. Here's a list of several portfolio. Portfolio A being the originally weighted portfolio compared to other portfolios that are uh, reweighted and rebalanced to see how these portfolios fare against one another. Portfolio B chosen stocks with 10% or above average annual return. Um, when taken equally, stocks that average 10% or above average annual return within the portfolio, equally weighted as portfolio B. In portfolio C, pick top 10 stocks that make up 75% of the portfolio, whereas the rest of the 8 stocks make up 25% of the portfolio. And for portfolio D, I've only picked stocks that have a negative correlation with at least one of the stocks in the portfolios that are picked. As a result, Comcast, Tyson, and Home Depot were sold, and instead shares for ExxonMobil was purchased. And this portfolio objective is to create a diversified portfolio by putting together stocks that are negatively correlated with one another. For portfolio E, we invested in top 15 of the 18 companies, and of the remaining 3 companies in the portfolio that were previously in there, we sold off the remains and invested it in Texas Instrumentals. For portfolio F, I included the top 6 of the companies or stocks that performed with the highest return, weighting them with 60% of the portfolio, whereas the next 6 was weighted 40% of the portfolio. As you can see, this is the correlation between the stocks in the portfolio with one another. The ones that are highlighted in orange show negatively correlated stocks, and as you can see, the ExxonMobil stocks are the ones that are mostly negatively correlated with a lot of the other stocks in the portfolio. The portfolio itself yielded returns higher than the original portfolio that we had invested in. However, having said that, they also had a higher risk measured by standard deviation. So looking at this figure itself, we can't tell which of these portfolios are superior. To get a look at how I got to these results, you can see that I just changed the number of shares or weight in the portfolio, which give me different weighted average returns annually and risk for every year. And I just calculated average portfolio return for each different type of portfolio that was rebalanced and reweighted, and its standard deviation to compare to the original portfolio. And this can be seen in the graph pictured here. So just eyeballing the previous table, we were unable to see which of the portfolios offered a better risk-return trade-off. But as we can see in this graph, it looks like A, C, and B are the portfolios that lie more closer to the efficient frontier. For every other portfolio, they seem to lie further down from the efficient frontier, offering worse risk-return trade-off than portfolios A, C, and B. So we can, at this point, eliminate portfolio D, E, and F, and keep A, B, and C. However, since all of them are at or close to the efficient frontier and have different risk-return trade-offs, we can't actually decide between any one of them in particular. It all boils down to risk preference. So our risk-averse investor or risk-intolerant or risk-conservative investor would probably invest in portfolio A, whereas a more risk-loving individual will invest in portfolio B. And it seems that the portfolio does compensate for the additional amount of risk taken. So the portfolios to name: portfolio A was the originally weighted portfolio. The portfolio B was stocked with 10% or above average annual returns, and portfolio C was made up of 10 stocks, top 10 stocks make up 75% of the portfolio, while the rest of the A stock make up 25% of the portfolio. To conclude, any of the portfolios that lie in the at the efficient frontier or close to it can be picked. It all boils down to risk preference. However, given that this is a scholarship portfolio, we would preferably want portfolios that lie at the efficient frontier but bear lower amount of risk, so that we can ensure stable returns, so that we can continue this scholarship fund long into the future and ensure its continuity. I would recommend either portfolio A, B, or C. However, since there are a lot of students weighting the returns differently, I'm sure there's a lot of returns or portfolios that are going to be at the efficient frontier. So given the nature of the project or the fund, which is designed to give out scholarships to students, we would probably want to pick the portfolios that are at the efficient frontier but bear less risk and are more stable to help this continue in the future. Thank you.